I have the philosophy of you must have fun. And if you don't bring the fun, nobody cares. Nobody's going to listen to you if you just get on social media and you're talking about, oh, let's go to this event. We have, blah, blah, blah. You have to make it fun. And so I have learned to put myself out there and be as goofy as I need to be or as silly. People love real. They love real and they love people who are humble.
The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Knapik and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Knapik.
Welcome to the show. It is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I'm your host, Bill Knapik. What a great weekend. Here we are assembled once again. It is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Fantastic guests, as always, abound right here today. So we're going to get down to business as we welcome Tammy McCall. The company is Johnson Development. Tammy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, Bill.
Well, as always, and there you are. You have a fantastic social media presence. Everyone knows about Johnson Development, and everyone knows about Tammy McCall. Almost everybody, and if they don't, they're finding out right now.
That's right. I'm so excited. Ready.
Well, let's tell people about Johnson Development, what your company does, and you've been with them for many, many years.
I have. I've been with them for 12 years now, and Johnson Development is a master plan developer all over the Houston area. And we have the Austin area, we have the Dallas area, and we have Atlanta. So we have a lot of properties, over 21 developments, and my position is Realtor Relations Extraordinaire. And another thing that's super exciting is that Johnson Development will be celebrating 50 years next year.
50 years. What a fantastic milestone that will be.
Yes.
And the company has done so much, and just even though as I follow in the last couple of years, so the company is always on the move with a tremendous vision.
Yes, that is so true. We are always eager to see what's next and what we can do to up the game a little bit. We want to bring our realtor community and their clients the best that there is. And so that's why they have hired 2 full-time people to do what I do.
2. Like one is not as much fun as it can be. Now you have 2 spreading the word in really in a fantastic way. So let's tell people how you and your associate split up this big city of Houston, Texas.
Sure. So my associate is Monica Conchola, and so she's the Realtor Relations liaison for all of our communities that are north of I-10. Doesn't matter if it's east, west, it's as far north as, not to Dallas, but in the Houston area. And then I handle the south, which is everything, obviously, south of I-10, all the way out from Fulshear to Missouri City to Edgewater, which is in Webster. So it's a huge area.
Well, what are some of the things that we should know about, Tammy, in the area that you're working every day, day in and day out, as far as what's happening right now for Johnson? And also, as we're here, we're going to be talking about 2025 very soon. What's on the vision board?
We are looking at staying, of course, current with the market and then stay ahead of the market, because the forecasts are always, it depends on who you listen to, but the forecasts are always all over the place. But we are anticipating a great year in 2025. So we're going to continue doing what we did this year, but bigger and better than before. So one of the things that we really concentrate on are our realtor, is our realtor community, because they are our bread and butter. They sell or bring in clients, and the realtors are responsible for sales that are 85% and more in all of our JDC communities.
And there are many communities. I'm looking at the map right now on one of the flyers that you have. As far as highlighting a community or 2 that you're thinking about right now, what is the ones we should know about?
Cross Creek Ranch is finishing out. That's where I got my start. So it's always the first one that I mention. But we will be finishing out in the next year. Cross Creek West is its sister community in Fulshear. So we've got big things going on there. Another community is Sienna. Sienna is 27 years old. But when people drive into the community, they can't tell it's a 27-year-old community other than the beautiful trees and the landscaping and things like that. So I would say those two communities stand out probably the most. But then they're all great. Jordan Ranch, it's also in Fulshire. Harvest Green is our agri-hood community where we have a farm. So there's just so much I can say about each one of them.
No doubt. It's also why you're always so excited. One of the things I notice, you're on social media a lot. And whether we're realtors, title companies, in the mortgage world, insurance, whatever it is, we want to get our word out. And I'm in admiration as the skill that you have, you get the word out in a fun way, in a way that registers with people. So let's talk about marketing, because you also have your marketing, one of your marketing sidekicks with you here. We'll introduce in a minute.
Sure do.
But let's tell people your philosophy on marketing and how you get the word out for your company, because you're doing it very effectively.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I have the philosophy of you must have fun. And if you don't bring the fun, nobody cares. Nobody's going to listen to you if you just get on social media and you're talking about, oh, let's go to this event. We have, blah, blah, blah. You have to make it fun. And so I have learned to put myself out there and be as goofy as I need to be, or as silly. People love real. They love real, and they love people who are humble. So, my fame, as they speak of, is not something that's ever going to go to my head, because I just love people and I'm there to serve them. So whatever it takes is what I'm going to be doing.
And one of the tools you have for marketing, as I mentioned, is you have a great dog. His name is
Chance McCall.
And we have a likeness of Chance right here on the show.
We do. The building wouldn't let me bring the real Chance McCall. But he's 4 years old now, and he has been going with me to realtor events since he was just a couple of months old. So he knows the realtors, but more importantly, the realtors know him. He has his own Instagram, Chancey Poo. And, of course, he's all over my other social medias as well. But he's kind of become the mascot for Johnson Development.
In fact, so as people tune in, and I'll remind people to go to stewart.com/radio. They can see Chance right here on the show. They can see you and me and everyone else that's going to be on the show.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Yes, it's very exciting.
So, and one of the things, I want you to say it again because it's a standalone quote. If you don't bring the fun, how does that go?
If you don't have, I don't even know what I said, but if you don't bring the fun, nobody cares.
I like that. If you don't bring the fun, nobody cares. And quite frankly, here we are in everybody in this, not just the real estate profession, but there's so much competition. We have to differentiate ourselves in some way, somehow, and make it to be where people engage with it and enjoy it and remember us in a good way.
And we just have to do our best. I think that goes so far that people don't realize, get out there, put yourself out there, and just do it. It doesn't matter how many clicks you get on a like or how many comments you get, or if you're doing a video or a reel, it doesn't matter how many views it shows, because I'm going to tell you, everybody's watching. You may not know that they're watching, but later on down the road, somebody will mention something that you've done. So I've learned not to worry about the numbers, because, the insights are great. And of course, in our business, we have to watch that. But social media speaks for itself. People are watching you always.
That's right. They're watching what you do, what you say, and also the message that you want to get across. And I think as far as Johnson Development, what are some of the things that we should know here before we close the segment about the company?
Well, I know I've talked a lot about our realtor community, but I just really think they make the difference in our success. So we did create a program called JDC Empowers Realtors, and that's that brochure I gave you. It's called our Showcase Brochure. That Showcase Brochure has Realtor University in it, which we are the only developer that has a website designed specifically for realtors where they can go and see all the events that we have coming up. Just between now and the end of the year, we have 5 events that are with Stewart Title. So Stewart Title and I are working on 5 events, but there are so many events. We take safety very seriously for our realtors, and Stacy and I have a safety defense class coming up in another week where realtors can come and get CE credit but learn what they need to do to stay safe. And that's just one of so many examples. We also give back to so many charities. So all we ask is they watch Realtor University, and they're going to get to see what we have going on.
I also heard that when Chance goes into a Stewart Title location, his tail sometimes wags a little faster.
It does. He's very excited when he goes to Stewart Title.
There's no doubt. And again, when we think about planning and getting our message out and what we do day to day to further whatever our business is, what are you thinking about right now? If you're already starting at the end of the year, as you think about, okay, here's what we did in 2024. What are you going to do as Tammy McCall as you go forth? Do you have some ideas and some things up your sleeve for the next year?
Yes, I like to spend the last week into the first couple of weeks of the next year looking at what has been successful and not been successful. And then I like to take that and then grow from that. Sometimes I think I have this great idea and then we get very little interest. And, you just have to reevaluate. And I think that is what the game is here in the real estate world, is you constantly need to be looking at what you've done, what you're doing now, and what you plan to do. So I plan to do as many events, but maybe change up the caliber of them a little bit to where it's more, something that's more resourceful for the realtor group. So it's always about them.
And Tammy, let's tell people how they can reach you and learn more about the activities and all the things going on.
Sure. My cell phone number is the easiest, and it is 713-303-2731. And that was 713-303-2731.
Thank you so much, Tammy McCall. What's the website also for Johnson Development? Let's tell people.
johnsondevelopment.com. Super easy.
Because I want them to see the map where they could see all the communities laid out over this massive fourth largest place we call Houston, Texas. One more time, Tammy, the number is?
Yes, 713-303-2731.
Thank you, Tammy McCall. And thank you, Chance. As we continue, let's talk to Rachel Johnson and Emily Rollins. They are with the Evan Ballou Group. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Love that energy. And you're excited to be here, right?
We are. Yes.
We are so excited.
Wide awake.
Wide awake and very excited to talk about real estate right here on Real Estate Matters. So let's tell people, first of all, Houston's a big area. Let's tell people basically the geographic coverage where you're working with the Evan Ballou Group.
So I will say the best thing about our group is that we have, I think 18 agents now. Wow. And the beautiful thing about having that many agents in one group is that we are all kind of in different market areas, but all within the same area, I would say. So we've got some people that work west, east, north, south. And beautiful thing is we can work pretty much anywhere, right? We're licensed here in Texas, but we try to stay within our market area. But having that many agents, we definitely can stretch. And if for any reason one of the agents on our team doesn't stretch that area, you're in great hands with any of us. So we always have options.
Hey, Rachel, let's tell people about the area you work the most geographically.
Yes, so I am mainly in Montgomery County. I was born and raised in Willis, so that is my cup of tea. I currently reside in Magnolia. So anywhere in Montgomery County, I know it like the back of my hand.
And that's a great help, too. In fact, as people listen to the show, they think about Houston, and we'll tell people Montgomery County is kind of which direction from downtown Houston.
We're definitely north, but we're a large county. And so when you say, hey, I want to find a home in Montgomery County, we could go all the way from Highway 59, 45. We can go even further west than that. So we stretch pretty far, and that's why it's important to have such a big team or group, is because you always have somebody to cover those different market areas.
That's an expert in that area.
Yes.
Exactly.
And that's huge.
And that is a tremendous thing because there's so much area and so many towns and counties right here in the Houston area, we'll say, that you want to make sure that you're working with a real estate agent. And like you're saying, Rachel, you have knowledge about Montgomery where maybe someone on the other side of town in Sugar Land may not know about what's going on. But what do you think as you're out there in Montgomery County, Rachel, what is it that draws people to the area that you see? What are some of the things?
I think that it is just such a great family area. People move there because they want to grow their families. They have great school districts. I know a ton of people move to Montgomery ISD because they're A-rated, beautiful houses, larger lots, just a little bit more room, whereas in the city, kind of on top of each other. So if you want a little wiggle room, Montgomery County is the place to be.
It definitely can be. I think that it has its different areas. So in Montgomery County, you have the Woodlands, which is more master plan. There's many master plan communities within the areas, but within those master plan communities, I think they've also seen the need for larger lots. So they do have your 65s, and then they've got your 100s or whatever the case might be. So they are seeing that need for a little more elbow room. And I would say whenever we kind of got into those COVID years, and I hate to talk about that, but when we did, is when we saw that need and people said, well, let's move north. Let's find a little more property. Let's decide to garden on our own. Let's be a little more self-sufficient. And so you saw a lot of that happening during COVID times. And I think a lot of people are going back in offices now. And so we are seeing a little bit of a shift. So it's I would say it's a pretty good mix of some people are saying, hey, let's stay master plan and closer to the cities where we're working because I'm no longer working from home. Then you've got the others that said, hey, my job pivoted and now I can work a little further out. So they're looking for homes that are a little more further out. And I think Montgomery County definitely offers a lot of each.
Yeah, I think it offers both, which is special.
It is special for sure.
So a lot of variety, a lot of diversity and choices for us, for someone that wants to buy a property in Montgomery County.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to the idea of wiggle room. If someone wanted a home and they maybe wanted an acre to the home, are they going to be able to, or even more, are they going to find that in Montgomery County?
Most definitely. In multiple areas of Montgomery County.
Mm-hmm.
So, and at the same time, you could find a house with just a regular yard and things like that, where
Yes.
it's a, quote, normal size that we find closer to the city.
Most definitely.
So that's a nice thing. Is your team and group helping people outside of Houston? Do you get calls that they're saying, hey, I'm in another state, another whatever?
Oh, we do. So in fact,
how does that work?
Corey on our team, she actually works, what is it, south? She works basically South Houston. So she's over in the Pasadena, Pearland, but she's further south from Houston. So we usually use her for like our Sugarland market, our Richmond, Rosenberg, anything kind of a little further south of Houston. We do tap into her. And that's what I said. The fact that our group is larger, we have resources in different market areas. So she's not necessarily Montgomery County. So we have different agents that work the outskirts of Montgomery County and surrounding counties.
So it sounds like there's some great distinctions of working with your group, the Evan Ballou group.
Yes, there definitely is.
Well, and going back to your question about the out-of-state people, I was actually in insurance for 10 years prior to getting into real estate. And so a lot of questions that out-of-state people have are flood zones, especially moving into the Houston metro area. And so just having an agent, like we just went back to, knowing the area, I feel like that is also a unique trait that I bring to the table for our team. So for a situation, I had a client that I knew the roof was not going to be able to get replaced, right? Or it wasn't going to be able to get insured by an insurance company. So I was able to take that
from your insurance insight.
Right,
so you were
correct.
able to,
so I was able to
that's a
take
good
that to
thing
the
there.
listing agent and say, hey, this isn't insurable, so y'all are going to have to replace that. We were able to negotiate it, get a whole new roof for the client. So just little things like that. Every single person on our team just brings such a unique
background.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of
Perspective,
exactly.
Superpower. So you have that little insurance superpower, Rachel. Huh?
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, and insurance is something a lot of people don't want to talk about, right? And it's so important with purchasing a house
Absolutely.
or selling a house.
That's right. And that's one of the things as time progresses, it's one thing, the price of the home. But when you start adding, and I'm also thinking about Montgomery County for this reason, when you start adding insurance.
And tax rates.
And tax rates. And isn't that one of the beauties of Montgomery County?
It can be. It depends on your area.
Don't you have some lower rates?
Yeah, and I say that anywhere. And that's the biggest thing for like our first time home buyers, knowing what their numbers need to be. So it's not always, oh, how much home can you afford? It's, hey, what are you comfortable with monthly? Because a lot of these people are using a loan, right? So they're not, a first time home buyer's not typically coming with cash. So just knowing where they want to be financially and guiding them through that process, that's key. So I would say first-time home buyers and veterans, we have so many benefits for veterans here in the state of Texas. So knowing what those veteran benefits are as well is super helpful. For instance, my husband is a very decorated Marine, and we've been very blessed to be able to utilize VA benefits for sure for our home purchases. So being able to walk first-time home buyers through that, because I've been there, done that. Being able to walk someone through the VA process, I've been there, done that. And just being able to walk clients through even the luxury market. I've walked plenty of clients through the luxury market because it can be a totally different animal. So just knowing those markets and knowing what you need to do for your clients and how you can best help them in those situations is key.
And your husband is a Marine?
Hoorah, yes.
And his name is?
Will Rollins.
Well, we thank Will and all the Marines, all the veterans for their service, as we do on this show on a regular basis.
Thank you.
That's awesome, especially the Marines. There's something extra about those guys and girls.
Extra is a great word. Yes.
There you go. So that's pretty awesome. So what else should we know? We're talking with Rachel Johnson and Emily Rollins. Rachel, what are some of the other things? What do you love so much about real estate? Because I know you could be doing a lot of different things in life, but you get lit up about real estate.
I love real estate because I truly get to make a difference for people. I'm not just helping them buy a house. I'm helping them purchase a home and to make memories with their family. And truly, I'm helping them realize that that goal that they have actually is achievable. And we actually put the pieces together to find that. And I think when you work with an agent, you want to be with an agent that not only has a phenomenal team like we do with the Evan Ballou Group, but also our leader has really connected us with just different loan officers, title companies. There's so many different pieces when it comes to purchasing or selling a house. People don't realize that. So when you have a great agent that has all those connections and they have all the pieces together, that can take that experience from a nightmare to, wow, that was way easier. Or even if it is a nightmare, it could have been way worse. And we're going to find a way to hold it together. Yeah, hold it together and make sure you get there. So that's just like we had a veteran recently, and we had a little bit of an issue with the VA taking their time, as they always do, getting them their benefits, right? But with our team and just the connections that we did have, we were able to get that veteran that house. And so just by the connections that we had. So I just think that's huge, and working with someone that is constantly doing this as a full-time job and in the community making themselves known.
Yeah.
There's no doubt the real estate professional has to be and do many things and have many tools in your tool bag.
So many.
Many.
The biggest toolbox.
That's right. So,
I mean, I call her constantly. This is my right-hand man.
So that sounds awesome. Guys, before we close the segment, what else do you want people to know?
That
Emily.
whether you're buying or selling, it doesn't have to be scary. Talk with an agent that you trust, know, and love. Talk through the process with them and make sure you fully understand it. I would say my biggest thing in real estate is communication. And that's when we see failures, when people fail to communicate. So the biggest thing, like I say, communication, whether you're buying or selling.
And Rachel, you agree with that?
I agree with that, yeah.
And let's tell people your phone number, Rachel.
My number is 936-524-6977. 936-524-6977.
And Emily.
713-295-1994. 713-295-1994.
Thank you so much, Emily Rollins and Rachel Johnson.
Woo! Thank you.
Let's talk to Tina Abbott. Her company is called ST Realty. Tina, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's good to see you. Let's tell people, first of all, you two are in the real estate profession, and ST Realty. Let's tell people a little bit about ST Realty.
ST Realty, it is a small boutique brokerage in Deer Park, Texas. There is about 40 agents.
About 40 agents.
Mm-hmm.
And you're one of them right there. And it's in Deer Park, Texas, right?
Yes.
So let's tell people, as far as if they're not familiar with Deer Park, that's pretty much what, on the east part of town, or is it southeast?
It is. It's pretty much on the east side. If you're familiar with 225 and Center Street area, we're right off of Center Street in San Agustin.
So we're in a completely different part of town now, but also one of the markets I'm told that you cover is the Pearland area, right?
Yes.
What is it that draws people, Tina, to Pearland? What do you find that attracts them? And maybe one of the top 2 or 3 things.
Pearland is very family oriented. It has great school districts, and it's growing. It's a growing city.
Well, and also for people that might be listening from out of town or another state or something, Pearland is almost, I'd say it's almost directly south of the center of Houston. Is that about right?
Yes.
So that's not a bad thing. You can access the city.
Right.
And, of course, I guess have a little bit more of a country lifestyle and a suburban lifestyle there in Pearland.
For sure.
Do you have children?
I do have children, yes.
Do they go to the Pearland schools?
We are not. We are in HISD, but I am really considering when open enrollment comes around to transferring them over.
To get over there in Pearland.
Yes, sir.
And then right now, you help buyers and sellers along the way in your real estate world. Are you helping more buyers now or more sellers?
Right now, I have a listing. It is a lease listing, but I am seeing that there is tons of buyers out there right now.
So lots of buyers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think as the interest rates, are you seeing them, they're coming down a little bit? Is that bringing on any activity or how's that play into it?
Yes, I have seen it bring more activity. And then I feel also with the holidays coming up that's also going to bring a lot more buyers because people want to be in their home before the holidays come.
And that's a good point. And I say it all the time here on this show, and that is this is a great time to look for homes, to be involved in a real estate transaction. If for no other reason, it's a little bit cooler and it makes the looking a little bit more pleasant, I think.
Yes.
And of all the things you could be doing, Tina, real estate, how did you choose the real estate profession?
Real estate, my cousin is in real estate. I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past 7 years, so I seen she was doing great, and it really pushed myself to, I really enjoy that I get the opportunity to help families find their perfect home, just to be a part of that big milestone for them. It's really a great feeling.
Now, have you been helping any first-time buyers along the way as well?
I have, yes. And there's so many programs and grants going on that first-time homebuyers aren't even aware of. A lot of people don't think that they can purchase when they absolutely can.
The point is that if you're if you're renting right now, let's say, theoretically, or you're a first-time, you're already out there looking to buy a home for the first time, so there are some tools or grants and things out there?
Yes.
Give us an idea, maybe one or two of them that help people. I didn't know about that.
One that there is the City of Houston grant, and they are offering up to $50,000 that you do not have to repay. Of course, you have to take a small.
There's a lot of qualifications, I would imagine.
There is.
$50,000.
Mm-hmm. And there's a 6 to 8 week, I don't want to say course, but counseling that you go through with them so they can guide you. And then.
Interesting. So that's City of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Now, are there things that are also things that mortgage companies are offering, or is that a whole nother thing?
It is through mortgage companies, yes.
So the mortgage companies, it's probably a good idea if you are a first-time home buyer to make sure that you explore, like you're saying, some of these options with the mortgage company.
Right.
Because there might be some advantages for you.
Yes, sir.
Well, that sounds pretty good. So first-time home buyers, a little bit of good news for you out there. But let's tell people some of the other things that you're doing there. Are you doing any open houses here lately? Because I think it's also a good season for open house with nicer weather.
Yes, I pretty much do open houses almost every weekend. I go door knocking, inviting the neighborhood out to our open house, and they have been really successful.
We're talking with Tina Abbott. The company is ST Realty. Tina, as far as social media goes, I mean, I'm going to guess you're on Facebook and some of these other platforms. Are you using, or how are you developing your social media work to get the word out there for your real estate profession?
I think just being consistent on social media, that helps a lot. There's so many tools on there that you can utilize to help grow yourself. You can utilize their ads, connecting with all kinds of people, engagement.
Do you use Facebook?
I do. I use Facebook and Instagram.
So what is, out of those two, is there one that serves you better than the other, or equal?
I would say they're pretty equal for me.
Yeah, because I like Facebook because I like the visual, putting out the videos and things like that, and there's really not really a time limit, so that serves our show well on Facebook. So, but yeah, you have to be out there and promote the cause, whether you're working through the neighborhood and bringing community awareness and all those things.
Yes, you have to.
Well, as we close the year, here it is, if you can believe it, 2024 is almost gone. I mean, we have a few more months left, but it's drawing to a close. And here you are thinking about 2025. How do you think the year's going to work out here as far as finishing strong or not? And then how are you looking and preparing for 2025?
I think there is a good opportunity to finish the year strong. There are a lot of buyers. For me, I am going to focus on continuing my education. That way I could help my buyers and sellers, educating them on what's happening in the market.
There you go. Tina Abbott, let's tell people how they can reach you.
My phone number is 832-805-5945. 832-805-5945.
Thank you so much, Tina Abbott.
Thank you.
Well, once again, we have the fantastic opportunity to talk to some of our business development people with Stewart Title. That's right. We have, 17 or so offices around the greater Houston area, fourth largest city right here in the United States. We have a lot of offices to serve you, and we have some of our tremendous business development people here today that you're going to hear from. One is Stacy Tierheimer. Stacy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Bill.
Well,
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's we have a fun team, but a very tremendous team.
We do.
Of excellent people like yourself and others. Let's tell people the offices that you serve for Stewart Title.
I'm actually over the Katy office and the Fulshear office.
And everywhere we could say it about all the offices, they're all growing.
Yes.
And the activity, and particularly Katy, Fulshear, the market's great, right?
Every time you turn around, it seems like there's something popping up in Fulshear or Katy. So, yes.
Indeed. And then Fulshear on its own, as far as people that, again, might be listening outside of the area, Fulshear's even further west than Katy, right?
Correct.
But it's been one of those growing markets.
I feel like it's tripled in, a year.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's really, every time you turn around, there's a new restaurant, there's a new development, there's a new business.
There's even a new mayor in Fulshear now.
There you go.
Don
See?
McCoy, right?
Yes.
And we say hi to Don sometime. I know he's a big listener to the show. One of the things, too, Stacy, is our business development people like you are doing things to help the real estate professionals, realtors, mortgage people, all the time. Give people an idea, like one or two things that you're doing out there in those two offices.
We've got a number of things coming up. We've got a class next week, risk reduction, that's over all the changes that people might have questions on. We've got realtor safety class coming up with Johnson Development. We've got 5 events with Johnson's Development before the end of the year.
Yeah, I like those guys over there, especially that
they're
Tammy McCall.
Awesome. Yeah, she's amazing.
No doubt about it.
Don't forget about Chance.
And Chance, no, I never forget about Chance. He is I was going to tell Tammy later if she ever needs a babysitter for Chance, Elvis and I will
think
watch.
you might have to be on the list.
My little dog Elvis would love to visit with Chance. So let's tell people, I know they want to bring contracts to you right now. They're lining up in Katy and Fulshear. They want to bring the contracts to your tremendous closers right there at the office. How can they reach you, Stacy Tierheimer?
They can call me at 832-392-2053. 832-392-2053. And we've got lots of classes coming up. So please contact me and we'll get you in on the list.
That sounds good. And Chance might even be there at one of them.
Maybe.
You never know. Thank you, Stacy Tierheimer. And here she is, Jana McGuire. Speaking of Deer Park, Pearland, and Jana, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Bill. Such a great opportunity to be here today.
No doubt about it. And, last time you were here, I think, or at least 2 times ago, your husband in the roofing business was on.
Yes, I got to bring him along with me.
And he'll never forget it, will he?
He won't. He enjoyed it so much.
Well, it was great to hear about roofing, such a relevant topic. But there you are, helping real estate professionals at Stewart Title. In which office?
At Clear Lake office.
Right.
Off Space Center and Bay Area Boulevard.
Bay Area Boulevard. And if you look out the window there at Stewart Title, you can see the rocket ships and all that stuff.
We're pretty close to that.
Pretty darn close.
Yeah, it's a really cool area over there.
Sounds good. Jana McGuire. So what else should we know, Jana?
So I actually have some really cool classes coming up. We have a cards and coffee event this Friday, and agents get
cards
to come.
Cards and coffee?
Coffee and cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They get to come and do handwritten letters to their either buyers, sellers, whoever their clients are. And it's actually a handwritten letter versus a typed letter or email.
They're the best.
Or a flyer. And whether it just be thinking of you, you write it down and we mail it for them. So that's a cool event.
It sounds very nice. So, Jana, let's tell people how they can reach you when they want to close a real estate transaction, and take a NASA tour.
Yes. So they can get a hold of me on my phone, 832-244-3439. And again, it's 832-244-3439.
That sounds good. Thank you, Jana McGuire. And now, from the North Country, Hope Moy. Here she is. Hope, welcome back.
Hey, Bill. Good to see you.
Well,
it's been a long time.
It's like every week. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I love it.
It's so
awesome. I love
awesome.
seeing you.
Well, thank you for that. Well, here you are. You too serve Stewart Title in a magnificent way 24/7, especially at the two offices.
So I am at Magnolia and Conroe in Montgomery County. So Magnolia is off of 1488 at the intersection of 2978. And my Conroe office is off of 336.
Kind of grown in those areas a little.
It is growing like crazy.
And it's so great. But when I think about the area, other than Montgomery County and sometimes potentially lower taxes, I've looked at real estate there myself, and that's one of the things I like. I want a low number for that. But also diversity of terrain, forest.
Yes.
Some wide open spaces.
Absolutely.
Even townhomes.
Yes.
Lakes abound.
Condos on the lake.
So there's a lot to be had that I think even people that look at Houston and think about us as one thing, your area has some real diversity.
We have a little bit of everything. And that's what I think a lot of people are, coming north is there's land, there's the developments, the newer developments, lots of things coming in the newer part of Magnolia, new developments with Johnson Development, actually.
Even they go that. Yeah, it's incredible. Well, Hope, let's tell people how they can reach you.
So my number is 346-224-1908. Again, it's 346-224-1908. Come and see us.
Hope Moy. Thank you so much, Hope.
If you're a real estate professional, then listen closely. Cyber criminals are targeting our industry. They are impersonating real estate professionals, homebuyers, sellers, and title agents. Their goal is to gain access to your inboxes, computers, and clients so they can steal information and funds. Does your business insurance offset these risks? Not sure? Contact Stewart Insurance to determine if your business is properly insured. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.
Real Estate Matters would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance. With a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers, Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. Here he is, John Bramlett from Stewart Insurance.
Howdy, Bill.
Here we are once again, John.
Always a pleasure.
I feel like I've taken a trip all over the fruited plains of Houston, the forests, the pearland, all these things.
Yeah, Deer Park to
Deer
Willis.
Park. Yeah, I mean, I was right there with Tina when she was telling me about Deer Park. It was incredible. So once again, though, and once again, we're always preambled with a little bit of insurance before your segment actually comes upon us. Oh. It's amazing. It's on everyone's mind.
Everyone's mind, and it's a topic that everybody enjoys so much. So I'm glad that we're able to share it each week. So wanted to share a bit about how insurance companies determine potentially what a premium might be in somebody's home or auto plans. So what are the things that an insurance company takes into consideration when they come back and say the cost of the insurance is going to be this? So I want to be able to share that, and then there are some things that we can do to try to adjust those costs or minimize them if that becomes an issue.
First thing that comes to mind is algorithm. I don't know why, but
well, there's a
or
couple
formula.
Well, there are a couple of things. So there is a base formula, whether we're talking about home insurance or auto insurance. There is a base formula that an insurance company builds off of, and then from there they'll look at each individual, and based on several criteria, then they'll determine what that final premium will be.
Well, we know there's a way they do it.
So if you're looking at your home insurance, so again, as I said, there's a base rate that they begin from, but then they're going to look at things like what's your zip code. They're going to look at the county you live in, the year the home was built, the square footage of the home. They're going to take a look at the number of people that are living in the home. What are some of the features that the home has? Age of roof is always important. Age of plumbing is always important. So those are the critical things that they're going to take a look at as a way to determine what that premium or the cost of the coverage should be.
That's right. In fact, to me, the first question I hear the insurance company ask is, how old's your roof?
Yes, so that's becoming more and more critical. Historically, you could have a roof that was 20 years old and it would still be replacement cost. So they would replace it at whatever today's market value is. And then anything older than replacement cost, we would look at as actual cash value. So they would depreciate the age of the roof before they would pay the claim. What we're seeing now are a couple of things taking place that after 10 years, if the company does want to continue covering the roof, it'll move from replacement cost to actual cash value. There's some instances where they'll say if it's 10 years or older, they may not have an appetite to cover, or they may be willing to write the home insurance but exclude the roof. So there's several things that are out there now that insurance companies are looking at. So that's why it's always important to be able to consider several companies when you're making a decision, based upon what's important for you and your family.
One day when they ask that question, John, I want to be able to say, I have a brand new house. And there you go, right?
Well, does help.
That's
Yes.
desirable.
That
I think
is
to
desirable.
get a lower rate.
I mean, newer is better than older, yes. But
That's my dream.
But there's still going to be some considerations about where the house is too. So you
like
could
you
have
said,
a brand
zip
new
code.
house, but if it's an area that's a higher risk, or an area that maybe the insurance companies don't have as great an appetite for at that point, then that could affect the premium as well.
Yeah, so my new dream is I'm just going to say I'm renting. I live with my mom.
Live with my mom. Yeah.
There you go.
Live in the van down by the river.
Exactly.
There we go. From a car's perspective, they're going to look at the type of automobile you have, how old it is, what it would cost to repair it, what would cost to replace it. Do you have any tickets? Have you had any accidents? And then are there any useful drivers that are part of your coverage? And those are the kind of things that'll drive the premiums based upon an individual for their auto insurance.
That's right. Well, fortunately, I'm doing well in the auto thing right now. But one of the things that we think about, I do know many, many years ago, having the day that I had a fender bender, a long time ago. I mean, you leave the house just like every other day. You don't know that you're going to have a fender bender. But once you do, all of a sudden it's, now I have something to deal with, and then there's an insurance repercussion, whether it's get to file a claim, get the car, That's life.
It is. And again, it goes back to that idea of how much risk you want to take on as an individual versus how much risk you want to offset to an insurance company. If you are very risk averse, you might want to have more robust coverage. If risk is not a concern and you feel like you can handle most of those costs, beyond what you're required, if you have a loan on the vehicle, then sure, you could have more conservative coverage.
That sounds good. Well, a lot of thinking goes into it. Right there at Stewart Insurance, I want to say the website right now, as people follow along wherever they're at here on the weekend, it's stewartinsurance.com. Could not be easier.
Well, it's a great site. It does a really nice job of sharing the different types of coverages that we offer, both for families and individuals as well as for real estate businesses. And it allows you, if you want to get started on the plan development process right there online.
Sounds awesome, John. So what are some of the other things we should know?
Well, I think that there's some things that you can do to try to offset costs. So many times on a home plan, you'll determine whether it's an all perils or a named perils plan, and there's a deductible there. If you have wind and hail coverage, there's a deductible there, and then a named storm area, and there's a deductible there. So you can adjust and play with those deductibles, how much you pay as an individual before the insurance company steps in and pays a claim. So that can affect your premium if you're willing to have a greater deductible. If you combined your home and auto insurance with the same company, many times they will be willing to reduce the premium for both because you're willing to give them, both pieces of business. Regular maintenance is a critical aspect of it. So are you, make sure you're maintaining that. We talked about the age of the roof. That's going to have effect. A newer roof can help with the reduction in your premium. And then some things like, am I willing to do, we talked about named perils and all perils. So a named perils policy says we'll cover only these perils or the root cause of the damage in the coverage. An all perils policy says we'll cover everything except what's listed. So an all perils policy is a broader coverage, but it potentially could be more expensive. So maybe you go with a named perils policy versus an all perils policy. Some insurance plans offer coverage for 4 types of water damage. So it's always important to keep that in mind. So, sudden and accidental seepage and leakage, water backup, and foundation repair. So do I want all 4? Maybe it's better for me that all I'm really concerned about is, let's say, seepage and leakage and water backup. So you might be able to adjust a plan to help you there. Or what's that sublimit? So how much will that cover? So there are some things that you can do to manage your costs. But in order to do that, you need to be willing to invest a few minutes with an insurance advisor. So we talk about what's important to you, what's going on in your world right now. And then based on that, as we're an independent insurance broker, then we have access to a variety of companies that we can work with.
And I think that's one of the keys, because I don't know about others. I find it hard to read and cipher through all those things as far as reading it goes. But the beauty is at Stewart Insurance, you can talk to an insurance advisor, ask questions right there, get answers, but also they will bring forth things that you may not have known to ask and help you along. That's what I like about my dealings with Stewart Insurance.
Well, it absolutely is. And things like that, our advisors are going to make sure that you understand that wind and hail is going to be the number one cause of damage for homes in this part of the world. And water damage, which is inside the home, is the number one. So understanding those kind of things and being able to have that conversation, understanding that there are a couple of options for flood coverage that people may not realize. I think many times people just assume that I've got to get it through the National Flood Insurance Program, and that's not the case. So again, understanding what those options are, and then having that conversation to say you may already qualify for potentially a lower premium, or here's some things to keep in mind that you might be able to do in order to save some money if that's an issue in today's market.
Sounds good, John. What else should we know?
Well, if you'd like to be properly insured,
I would.
And all that means is that whatever the coverage you have, whether it's very conservative or very robust, if you're comfortable with what that coverage is and you know what you do and you don't have, then in our world, you're properly insured. And if you'd like to do that for your family, for your home, wind, auto, flood, investment property, watercraft, you can reach us at 866-798-2827. If you're a realtor, real estate broker, property management firm, independent title and attorney agent, and you'd like to be properly insured when it comes to your business insurance, we can help with that. And again, you can reach us at 866-798-2827.
And what's the Deer Park hotline?
The Deer Park hotline is 866-798-2827.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, John Bramlett with Stewart Insurance.
Always a pleasure, Bill.
And now, let's welcome back from Johnson Development, Tammy McCall. Well, Tammy, here we are as we wind up the show, wind it down, however you look at it. You're back, Johnson Development. People love Johnson Development, and they also follow you on Facebook. They like to hear about all the things going on. So what else should we know about what's going on before we close things down?
Well, I think one thing is you came up with my new tagline, which is if you don't bring the fun, then they don't care. But I want to steal a tagline from John, newer is better.
Newer is better.
I love it, right? I'm in new construction, so makes sense, right? So you guys, I'm here to help you. If you're a realtor, if you're a real estate agent and you need help, call me at 713-303-2731, 713-303-2731.
And Tammy, what if they want to see some of the great Facebook posts that you make in the other places? How do they get on to find your platforms?
Yes, it's just under my name. It's really easy, under Tammy McCall, and I'm connected to so many realtors that you won't have trouble finding me.
No doubt about it. Tammy McCall, Johnson Development, and there's Chance. I'll tell you what, I bet he's listening to the show right now.
You know it.
No doubt about it. Thank you so much, Tammy. And now they are back all the way from Montgomery County. Emily Rollins, Rachel Johnson, they're back. All right, ladies. Well, look, here we are. We're closing things down. So what else do you want people to know, Emily Rollins?
I want people to know that life happens. And as realtors, we understand life happens. And so we give people so much grace because We get married, we get divorced, we live, we die, we have children, we get job promotions, we have to move because of job promotions, or we lose our job. Whatever the case might be, when I say life happens, it really does.
It always does.
We have to roll the punches just as you do, and we're here to help you along that process because, I mean, hey, we live life too. We get it.
I woke up today and I said, hey, life's going to happen, but I'm ready for it.
Right.
So here you are. What about Rachel? What else?
Well, I wanted to tell everybody, if you want to be in the know, get the 411 of what's going on in Montgomery County, you should follow me on Instagram. It's Rachel, the Rockstar Realtor. Also on Facebook. And if it's
The Rockstar Realtor.
Yes, sir.
I like that.
So
we can find you right there?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
That's how I found her, actually. Before we even worked together,
So
I
you
found
were
her
on the team first, and then here comes
No,
Rachel.
This is a really long story, but
Give us the 30-second version.
Yes, I
Go.
met her in a boutique, and we realized we were both realtors. I found her on Facebook. I said, oh my gosh, that was the girl that I saw your video. And then we just connected from there. And surprisingly, what was it, like a couple months later, we're like, whoa, you're on this team? Wait, I'm on this team. How do we both get on this team? And we've been inseparable since. It was great.
We're the redheaded duo.
The redheaded
it's kind of
duo.
scary
And
in the best way.
It is a great thing. And for those that tune into Stewart.com/radio, redheads abound right here on this show with Emily, Rachel, Tammy, Stacy, and myself.
You're a blessed man.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
You're a blessed man.
I know. Okay, guys, well, let's tell people your phone number there if they want to reach you. Emily.
713-295-1994. 713-295-1994.
And Rachel?
936-524-6977. Again, 936-524-6977.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Life happens. That's right. Some great quotes are coming out of this show today. And now she is back, Tina Abbott. And Tina, here we are. It's you and me closing this big old radio show down here, show number 535. Can you imagine we've had that many shows?
That's incredible.
It is incredible. And here you are right on this very show. So, Tina, let's tell people again, your company is called
ST Realty.
ST Realty, and you're helping people geographically in what part of the city? We'll remind them.
Deer Park and pretty much the southeast side of Houston.
And that incorporates Pearland, and that's
Pearland,
Pearland's
yes.
kind of a famous city. People hear about it all over the place, right?
Yes, it's all over. It's really popular city.
There you go. Tina Abbott, ST Realty. How can people reach you, Tina?
My phone number is 832-805-5945. 832-805-5945.
Thank you so much, Tina Abbott. And thank you all for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. On behalf of Stewart Insurance and Stewart Title, I'm your host, Bill Knapik. That's right, show 535. It's hard to believe, but you can access any and all shows and see them and hear them simply by going to Stewart.com/radio. That's right, Stewart.com/radio. You can see the guests. So many great things are right there on the website, on the show site. That is Stewart.com/radio. And of course, our regular Stewart Title site, which is Stewart.com, is fantastic as well. So if you have a question, you're thinking, hey, what is title insurance anyway? What are all these things? What do I need to know in a real estate transaction? We have many resources right there at Stewart.com. In addition, we're not only here in Houston, we are an international company. That's right, traded on the New York Stock Exchange as STC. So we're there to help you all over the United States and beyond. That's right, Stewart.com. I am Bill Knapik, your host, together with John Bramlett. And once again, all of us at Stewart Title and Stewart Insurance, we appreciate you listening. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.
In today's litigious society, it is imperative to have the proper insurance to offset the many risks facing your business, especially if you're a real estate broker. Your errors and omissions and cyber liability insurance can help limit the threat of these risks if you know what to look for. Not sure if your insurance addresses the risks facing your business? Contact Stewart Insurance to be confident your brokerage can withstand these risks. Stewart Insurance, 866-798-2827. StewartInsurance.com. That's StewartInsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.